go, we'll do a section of it when we go down there and do that one part. But it would be kind of cool just to say, I drove all the 66. You know what I'm saying? Just to say, I did it. You know?
Yeah, I was watching a show with two guys, I think it was a father and son, who did 66 and stopped different places. It was interesting.
Yeah, I was watching a video, and again, they went through California. There's a couple things, and most of the shit, when we made that trip down there, that's what we're going to see. Because the rest of it, from there on, where we stop, it's all interstate. It's not, it's Route 66, but it's still interstate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there ain't jack shit to see. I don't want to see buildings and stores and stoplights and cops. I want to see this. You know?
And they did everything.
Yeah.
When I'm 40, they kind of stopped at different places.
And that's what they did, but most of everything that they stopped by was restored.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't a 1920 building I want to see. Some of it was. There's a park, Newberry Springs, California, they stopped at. It was like a town that was a ghost town, literally a ghost town, you know? And they have ghost towns here, but they're not ghost towns. You go to Jerome. You ever been to Jerome?
No.
That's just south of Cottonwood, Sedona, all that shit.
Yeah.
Alright? That's up on the side of a mountain. It used to be a mounting time. And they used to get a shitload of iron or something from there. And to this day, it's technically called Ghost Town. But there's got to be 2,000 to 3,000 people living there. I don't call that a ghost town. You know? See, I've never been up this road, so this is a new road for me.
Never been up here?
I've been from here to Cal Navi because I came out there. No, I did that Christmas Tree Road, and then I came back to the interstate, and I drove up here to Cal Navi to come up and go to the different side. But if I'm not mistaken, we just passed like a brick thing, like a park thing, just a second ago.
Rest area.
Well, yeah, I think there's a road right next to that. That's the road that goes to Christmas Tree Pass. And the one I was taking was way up here, like through town, which is the wrong one. And I knew that when I started getting to the mountains. The roads get too tough, something just don't feel right. So I went back and did Christmas Tree the other way. And where I came out, there was like a little park, you know, a sign that you would see in a forest or national monument, you know, sign and shit. I don't know if we passed that or not, but I think that was it. Because we're already getting past the mountains here. Yeah, that was it just a minute ago. So I've been all the way up here and back. I don't know that I got it on film though.
Well, I've been on this road many times.
Is it all flat?
Pretty much. There's a few places, Searchlight, that way. Christmas Tree Pass.
Is that where it says? Here, there, see that wood thing?
Right there.
That's what I was talking about. Right.
Yep. That's Christmas Tree.
That's where I didn't even come out there, but I went to where I could see that sign. Because that's all as far as I need to know, you know? Turn around and go back. Because it does get pretty fucking gnarly back there, you know? Luckily I got a 4-wheel drive truck. bucks.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
I'm wondering if my sweater's back there. I think it's way back.
Honestly, I can pull this up a little bit. How do you do this?
Pull it up.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Whatever.
yeah. Is that better? Tell me, because maybe what we should do is open your window. Let's just see if how much you smell this. And then we'll try it with your window down a little bit like this. Because me smoking like this, it might blow it over that way. Well, so we'll see. Yeah, middle of nowhere, it's here.
Yeah, I can't imagine why anybody would want to live here.
Cheap. Cheap, that's why. Land's cheap. The guy I did the other day, he bought his land for $39,000. Hell, in Bullhead, you can't buy a mobile home for $169,000. You know? But the only drawback to that is it's a half an hour drive to fucking Walmart, Kmart, whatever, you know? Grocery store, hospital, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I've lived in the middle of nowhere many, many, many times. And it is quiet. And it is nice until you want something. I want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to Subway. I want to go to Dairy Queen. You know, I used to live in Brenda, and just if I was smoking pot deep back then, if I'd roll a joint and I run out of paper, well, I got to travel 15 miles just to pick up a $2 packet of paper or a lighter. You know, I can't find my lighter, so now I got to travel 15 miles to go get a lighter. That shit got old after a while.
Yeah.
Really. But I was driving that car, my old car kind of thing, you know. I had a Paz County cop stop me there. And he walks alongside me. He says, "Why?" I said, "Why not?" Yeah. He says, "Can I take a picture of my wife?" so I painted that. It was just the basing of a business, downtown.
Yep.
Got that. I made a couple, $200-300, and I was out of pot because the place in Prescott fucked up my application, and I had a lot of grand on me. So we rented a car, went to Flagstaff, did the job, left there maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. We were going to go to Colorado because they just legalized pot there, So we thought we'd go to the first town that had medical marijuana. Well, it didn't work that way. We ended up having to go all the way to Telluride to get the pot, all right, which is okay, So we ended up driving to, I want to say it's Grand Junction, Colorado, right there on 70. Spent the night there, got up in the morning, we're going to go to Denver. We got about maybe 30, 50 miles from Denver. And I'm looking at the map, and there's this road that goes into the national park, kind of a back way thing. And I said, let's take that motherfucker. She goes, okay. So we took it. Oh my fucking God, it was the most beautiful road I've ever been on.
Really? I'm going to the bathroom, so I have to stop. Just make sure.
But you didn't put it in the records. And I really jumped on her shit about it.
And what'd she say?
She put it in the records. I really jumped on it. You're supposed to be my friend. Friends, I dig you would have to work for the VA, but still, they lied. As simple as that. There's no way around it.
Yep.
And that's why I think I'm going to win my case, because, the judge asked specific things, and that fucking doctor didn't do any of them,
Oh, there's a town and country store. I never.
$460. I wonder what we paid. Probably $339 or something.
$3.59.
Was it? Yep. So $1 more.
$3.53.
A little over $1 more.
Like that, yeah. See, I'm already going over 25. Just rolling downhill,
Speed trap, it's called.
Yeah. Although I haven't
It's
seen
actually bigger than I thought it would be.
Yep, web it.
That sounds awful. I haven't been to Nevada in fucking forever. I can't say that either. A couple of years ago we did back in 2016, I did a house, painted a house up there.
There's quite a few places, I guess. They had some rally or something here when Reed was governor, going for governor, or whatever.
Well, this is probably one of the fastest routes from going to LA to Vegas,
or
from certain parts. I guess you could go up 15 or something. Then you're talking traffic. All that bullshit.
Yeah. Quite beautiful out here. I like the wide open spaces. Of course, I'm not climbing it or walking it.
other countries, just like that Defense Department part. We need to be making that shit just not one person. You know, they're giving it to just one person, so that one person says, blah, 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 you gotta either go without the barter or fucking pay their money. You know? That part went up 40%.
Oh, is that all? Gee.
Well, 40%, you went to 700
different.
Well, that's why I
None
quit.
of my symptoms are different.
That's why I quit. The VA had me on 35 different pills when I moved to Phoenix. I was doing 90 milligrams of morphine and 40 milligrams of Vicodin.
Thank you.
And no, the side effects will kill you. It'll do more harm to you than what you're trying to fix. You know, just like that stuff I just was taking. You know, that was knocking me out. Well, it was also
Nevada is getting money from.
They are making money off this.
From China, from all this.
I know, but it's we're all it's one world. Sooner or later, we die or we get along. It's either or. And honestly,
I don't think
democracy
we're
around
ever
the world,
gonna get along.
well, sure we will. You know, there's going to be things that happen, like an asteroid or old faithful blows up or some bullshit. You know, really want to go to is I want to see the old Toonstown and Bisbee. Those are the old fucking mining towns. Tucson, which I've been to already, but I'd still like to film it. But Bisbee, Contention, you know, Tombstone.
Where are you originally from?
Chicago. I lived in a gangster's house, like Al Capone gangster. I lived 50 miles southwest, or southeast of Chicago, right across the Indiana line. You could drive 5 miles west and you'd be in Illinois. You're only a 40-mile drive from Chicago, downtown Chicago, right? But you're in a different state. Well,
Yeah.
so that's where all the gangsters used to, like Dylan used to always hide out in East Chicago. The jail he broke out of is in the same town I went to high school in. I just filmed that when I was there in Chicago. The jail that Dillinger broke out of. And one of the banks that in the movie with Johnny Depp that he robbed, and he actually did rob that bank. So I just like filming.
2 miles, use the right two lanes to take exit 23 for I-215 West.
Okay, once we get on 215, we go down the ramp, we go left or right? Left?
I'll tell you when we cross that bridge. 1.5 miles. We're going to want to take that 215 west. So
Yeah, it's coming right up. Here's the marker, so
I'm not even wild about the city, to tell you the truth.
no. And there's right on the ramp, you gotta make a decision, left or right.
I understand that.
Okay. Or do you? Is that what I'm? No, that's 515. No, that's all
215.
This is 215. We're
got it.
on
I'll navigate.
515, right?
Relax.
We're on 515 now, right?
We're on 11 technically right now.
Half a
So
mile, use the right two lanes to take exit 23 for I-215 West.
see 215 west. There's only one way to go. Stay in that lane.
Okay. Signs.
Use the right two lanes to
This
take exit
this whole
23
city was built on gangsters.
Yep. Right?
Yep.
We go up and around. Okay.
Well, just stay in this lane.
That's why I want to make sure because
Yeah, I'd hate to live here.
oh yeah. These people are nuts. Look at that son of a bitch going like a bat out of hell.
But your land's expensive too.
Expensive to live here.
And I'm not sure I'd even see in Arizona. You're under the handyman clause of $1,000. You understand?
keep left.
Your supplies and labors can't charge you more than $1,000. So I make the people buy the paint, and I just supply the labor and the equipment. And in Nevada and California, the limit is only $500. So that's why I really don't do anything up here, because I don't want to get, I don't even want to run into the issue. So what we need to do now is like 10 miles on this thing. Exit 12B, 15 north.
miles. I thought she said. And see, it's still coming up here, fucking building, you know. Howard Hughes used to own this fucking damn near whole state. Dean Martins. I gotta start watching you here now.
Watching what?
The camera went.
Take a piece of that and put it underneath.
Yeah, it ain't even working that right. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on it. We're not gonna. I think we'll drive out of these lights here, and you're just not used to working with a camera. I am. Yeah.
I'm not even used to working with passengers.
Dean Martin, check that out. See all those guys, Frank Sinatra? The mob had shit on them, all of them guys. Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, you name it. They had a picture of Kennedy in bed with Marilyn Monroe. I mean, they were dressed still, but they were still in the same bed. You understand?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can call it conspiracy, but they've got a lot. I read a lot of proof where, and I just don't listen to anybody. You know, I'm good at reading people. You know what I'm saying? Considered really good. And this guy, I want to say Giovanni, something like that. You ever watch The Godfathers? You remember the guy that marries Pacino's daughter and then, or sister? He beats her up. They end up killing him in a car. Well, he plays a part in The Godfather, right? And he was an actual gangster. And he lined this thing up, and he says, for doing this, I want one of four parts, either Sonny or Michael, and it ended up being the brother-in-law, or whatever you want to call the sisters, the sister's husband, and he was really in the mob. I mean, he has the pictures of being with the gangsters, the stories, and he's got the data, you know. He's got the dates, pictures, and they actually know the guys that actually killed John Kennedy. And it definitely wasn't Harvey Oswald. It wasn't. I mean,
I don't believe that.
that Harvey Oswald did it? No. Well, he couldn't have. There's so much to it, he's not even funny. But he says the guy that shot him shot from the sewer. And if you look on the film, the Zapruder film, first thing Kennedy grabbed was the front of his throat. And he was shot in front from the sewer. And that's when they shot him. And they actually know them. They have the guy's name. They were all killed just for that reason. You understand? But the CIA did it and paid the mob to do it. You know? And they wanted the same thing to happen to Castro. They
so much in the mob sense, but this local leader listened to the mayor, and that mayor listened to the governor, which listened to the mob. You know what I mean? And that's how it worked right down the line and shit like that. And all the redneck shit that went on here, you know, God knows. And it's happening today. They got cops that were talking, they got text from them that wanted to kill the reporter back in North Carolina because they were reporting stories on it. And this is this day, you know. So we're just repeating history and shit, you know. And as long as you have democracy almost, that's the way it's going to be. There's always going to be somebody on the other side that, you know, majority rules. You know what I'm saying? You can have 51% of the people going for one thing, just like Trump. That's damn near 50% right there. And the other, so you got half the citizens in the whole country not happy about this situation, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where we are tonight. That looks like trails up there, little sitting benches.
Truck's gonna get in front again.
In 52 miles, take a left.
Okay. 52 miles.
So we got 2 hours to go. And we're right on time. We're actually ahead of time. How are we looking on gas?
We have a quarter of the tank gone.
So we should make it there easy. Probably be back. And then we'll put gas into it here. And then at home. This is what I do.
What's that?
Stucco.
Oh, as far as painting. Yeah, my cousin was very happy with the job you did.
Well, there's some overspray on the sidewalk, and I should have go over there and get it, because I got this chemical, and it's called Jesco or Gesco. Amazing shit. And it takes I did a job in Kingman, and all she wanted was the soffit, which is the flat part, and the fascia board done. But it was a big brick house, stone house, and when you put that shield up there, it
Cover all the holes.
right, it'll bled through, you know, and you're using almost 2 tons of pressure coming out of that spray tip, so it shoots through far, alright? So you could actually see the spots, and I was thinking, the pressure washer didn't take out, so I went and bought some of this, and I sprayed it on and hit it with that pressure washer, boom, it came right off. I couldn't fucking believe it. And even at your cousin's, the sun got on her back porch, blow through, and I tried wiping it off, I got some of it off, so I said, I'd try this. I hit it as fast as I could, grab the water and put it on there, spray it up there, and it all came off. So I wanted to try it on her cement, and I think it would do the same thing. What?
It just slid a little bit. But
See? God damn it.
when I
I know that.
when I stop sometimes it feels like it's gonna stop faster than it does.
I should just pay attention to, so don't worry about it. Shit happens.
This place is gorgeous.
I don't know.
I just love the mountains. I'm talking the mountains. The rest of this shit
Yeah,
we can do without these signs and
cars.
Well, this is all being built up. I mean, it's like
Oh,
Phoenix.
yeah.
It's Prescott's going to be a community of Phoenix pretty soon, because it's actually the houses are getting that far down and this far up. You know, you have a very
Cold.
Black Canyon City is where pretty much Phoenix stops, just north of Anthem. There, going up. Was it 17 or something like that? 19. I don't know. Going to Flagstaff. But between Black Canyon City and where you get off to go to Prescott, that's only like a 30-mile drive, and then as soon as you get off, you can see buildings starting there. You know, so it's you know, another 50 years, it's gonna fucking meet somewhere in the middle. You know. Yeah, we should start running out of stoplights here pretty soon, I think. See green coming up, not too far down the road. And I don't see many side roads. 1 hour and 53 minutes. I don't do 2 stories anymore. I mean, you could. What I do is I do under 750 square feet for under 1,500 square feet is or 1,500 square feet is $750. If it's, and I only just top out at 2,000 square feet, or approximately, you know, if it's 2,200, I'll take it. That's $1,000, and they gotta buy the paint, they gotta go pick it up, everything's on them. I'm applying it, putting it on, labor and machines, you know. The rest of it, you know, whatever paint you buy, it's on you. And then if I run out, they gotta go shagging it. It saves me an hour. You know, get the wrong color. Yeah, blame it on me. You know, so I fucking put a kibosh on that, you know. Not to mention, I couldn't do it because then I'd be breaking the law, because I buy a $600 paint, I could only charge $400 in labor. You know, so it works out the best. And that's what I'm thinking about doing, and I'm not sure where I want to go. I mean, I would like to be near Phoenix, but not too near. You know?
Right.
Put in a little pool. You know, we got above ground pools anymore than. And I was thinking about, if I was to do something like that, I wouldn't even dig the hole. Put it right there. Never mind. You know, I would buy a pool, do all the plumbing work, maybe do some framing underneath, and then put the dirt around it, so it's be like a little tiny hill instead of trying to dig the hole in. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be a lot easier?
I never understand that.
So, and then you got shit blowing around. If it's flat on the ground, it's just gonna go right into it. But if it's on a hill, I would think it's gonna be a little bit less bad, you know, unless you're by a tree. So that's what I'm thinking, because again, there's just too much money in this, and then if I don't have to worry about Social Security and all this bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
It all depends on how much I get. You know, if I get, it could fuck me again, but I honestly don't think that's going to happen. My lawyer told me, they said the regional office always denied you. It's when you have to go to the BVA and get a judge to look at it. been
that
in
year would
Phoenix
never
where,
end.
you know, I know it's been like 100, but it hasn't been terrible this year. And last year was much hotter this time of the year. You know, so I think so far we've been pretty good. I think we're not at the hottest parts of the late night trail bit. And see, that's why those are places where you can find gold at in here. You know why? Because the rock is mineralized, it's colorized. Not like that over there, you know? This has got minerals. Where do you think gold comes from?
Where does it come from?
Where does the gold come from?
I don't know.
Where do you think?
What? It's in the ground, in the rock.
It's in the ground.
But what is, yeah, it's in the ground. Like, and then the water washes it into rivers and shit
Yeah,
like
but-
that. But
See, it's not made in the ground.
it's not made in the ground.
Right. Gold is not a substance that the earth produces.
Gold is an element.
Gold is an element. I know, I know.
Itself, what it is.
All right.
Gold,
Silver. Where do you think that comes from?
same thing.
Same thing. How about aluminum?
I think that's an alloy. I think that's a combination. I don't know. Sure. Unless I'm thinking of
You ever
something
heard of
else.
cobalt?
Yeah.
None of it's earthly. None of it.
That's man-made stuff.
No.
Combinations like
No.
aluminum.
No.
What are you talking about?
All those metals and more, there's like 25 of them that's on Earth. That's why gold, why do you think gold is called a precious metal?
Because it's fairly rare.
It's limited. That's it. See, gold comes from space. So does silver, so does aluminum. Now you check this out on your
From
phone.
Space.
Huh? Yeah. No, when the Earth was formed, it rained down on gold is on all the planets. It would just cost too much to go to the moon and mine gold. You know. Here we have found 3/4 of the gold that's on the planet already. There's about 1/4 left. Right? That doesn't mean there's just no left. But I think I heard Fort Knox, just a staggering number of pounds of gold that the United States has in Fort Knox. Like, unbelievable gold, you know? So, all those metals, and you can check it out yourself, you can look it online, where does the gold come from? It's going to tell you from space. It was all rained down. And that's why certain parts of the country has more of it than others, like Alaska, California, you know, probably farther out into the Pacific, you know, it's gone down. Just like a meteor shower that hits a planet, it's almost like a rain shower. It starts out light, you know, and we're turning at the same time. The Earth is turning, and they're coming in, and the Earth is turning, and then you get to the heavy part of the storm, you know. So wherever that's hitting on the Earth, that's where the most gold's gonna be found. Follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's how all these metals have been is deposited in Earth. It just smashed into the Earth, you know what I'm saying? And it all goes down to the bedrock. And that's why you always find gold in a rocky place, because that's the tectonic plates that make these mountains. They push the mountains up, you know, the tectonic plates. Well, it's as you see cracks in it, that's the gold's going to be closer, because it's been pushed up from the bedrock, you know. So I know you don't believe me. And I want you to
No
look at
idea what's
it. It all comes from space. I couldn't believe it. I know.
Does that look like snow?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen that 50 miles ago. We were still before Las Vegas. I seen that. You know how high that's got to be? That's got to be. I mean, well, then again, of course, Mount Humphrey is 12 mountain and a hill.
The difference between a mountain and a hill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it ain't elevations.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's a simple question. What's the difference between a hill and a mountain?
Well, you want to go to New Hampshire and you'll see their
We can't answer a question with a question, so.
that wasn't a question.
Alright.
So you go to New Hampshire, you'll see hills versus mostly hills.
What are hills and what are mountains?
Mountains are a lot bigger.
Are they?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I'd rather have a mountain money than a hill money.
You want me to tell you what the difference is? A mountain has a summit. A hill doesn't.
Well, that may be, but they're not very.
Like that over there.
Those
Those are summits.
are glacier forms.
No, you see the peak of
Yeah.
that's a mountain. If it's curvy like over there, those would be mountains. The peak would be over there, you know. The rest of it is a hill, like that one to your left, far left. That's a hill. That's not a mountain.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah.
So, what do you think the difference is between a valley and a canyon is?
A valley and a canyon.
Yeah. Come on, you're in Arizona. You're living in Arizona. You should know that, man.
Oh,
Come on,
you know, they make
here's the difference.
the canyons.
A canyon,
Canyons usually formed by a river.
a what?
A river.
A canyon is a river,
No, canyons are usually formed by rivers.
so it's a valley. That was a big glacier or something like that. But the difference is, we're in the valley right now, and it's what, 30, 50 miles wide apart?
Surrounded by mountains.
Listen, it's 50 miles apart. Where the canyon, like the Grand Canyon, how close that is, you know, it's the width. That's the difference between a canyon and a valley. A valley is a wide open space. A canyon is a very narrow space.
The
between two
canyons
mountains.
are formed by
But what I'm trying to say is, that's the width of this whole place that we're in now. That wouldn't be considered a canyon. A canyon would only be like very next to, you know, that would be here. You know, you follow what I'm saying? But we were watching the canyon, me hiking the canyon the other day. That's when you're right next to the rock, you know. You're 30 miles from that rock, you're probably 10 or 15 from that, you know. Canyon, you might be 20 feet or 5 feet, you follow? It's the width of the space between the walls of the mountains.
and it's like
Width. So what's the
but
difference?
a river didn't form the valley. You know what I mean?
A glacier formed it. Glacier and tectonic plates. That's what formed it. This whole place is they have a name of the when that planet hit Earth, it did, all shit went on flying like it would any other object. And then it made its own little moon. That's probably how every moon got formed everywhere, in the solar system. Any moons around a planet. It's probably they're just a remnant of some kind of collision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's just too many fucking, they can't count the number of stars out there. And that's saying one thing. And then there's planets, and then there's moons around each one of those stars. And there's got to be another one like the Earth,
Somewhere.
Sure. I mean,
Does it make sense?
the odds of it not being unbelievable, You just got to be, we're into like the Goldilocks zone. They said Mercury used to have water on it. They said that Mars used to have water on it, but it's too cold and Venus is too hot, and we're just fucking in the Goldilocks zone, and that's why we got water and shit. And they said when our sun 2-3 billion years from now,
When that dies, we die. It dies.
when it dies, it's gonna cover most of the sky. I mean, we'll be gone, and there won't be a green thing out here. It'll be all fucking rock. It'll look like Uranus or Mars or something like that. I was looking at Mars the other day. They had a little 360 view of it. I couldn't believe it. I said, fucking, man, that looks like Nevada or Arizona. It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that, I've seen a shitload of places that look like that. And they're really thinking about sending people to it, but that's honestly, it's again, sooner or later a fucking asteroid's gonna hit us, might not be in our lifetime or any time within the next 1,000 years, but sooner or later a fucking asteroid's gonna hit this place.
There's enough of them around.
Yeah, I mean, a meteor, that's what killed the dinosaurs, alright? You have the meteor crater out there in eastern Arizona. You ever been there? Meteor crater, you ever heard of it? So, sooner or later, a big enough one is going to fucking hit this planet. And then there's shit, it's like starting a chess game all over again. Who survives and who don't. This in 5,000 years from now, it could be a whole fucking completely mess. It could be under Russian control and
You never know.
Chinese or who knows, Everybody could be gone from nuclear winter. Russians keep on talking about nuclear winter. They seem to think, we should bomb London, we should do this and we should do that with nukes and shit like that. You don't think they're gonna get waylaid with so many nuclear weapons from everybody else in Europe? You don't think that's gonna hit them? They're gonna hit the heart of Moscow, St. Petersburg, every fucking major, we already know where all the damn ammunition shit is at. And that is just one more thing that could fucking happen, nuclear war. Game over for a couple thousand years, and whoever survives, those, we're talking, probably, I feel, if it did happen, the people that got a chance are going to be people that live in Alaska or the South Pole, or something like that, because the currents kind of travel around in a circle around the Earth, you know what I mean? And you're not going to get as much down there just due to the cold and the weather patterns and the wind and whatnot, I feel you'd be, so you're talking thousands and thousands of years down the road, And then I was looking at A1. You know what A1 is? A1 is like robot people and shit like that. Oh, they had a robot, and he was like a
AI.
artificial intelligence. And this robot, I'm telling you, they had a whole room full of like dogs, and they were all synchronized doing the same, exact same thing. I mean, literally, they had a room full of them walking at the same time, like they were people. You know, they were robots, and that's what they're worried about in Congress right now. Is 9 miles. We turn left. They're worried about that AI could take over. You know what I mean? I don't know that that's possible. Yeah, I mean, they'd have to go dig the parts. But again, they could be programmed to do that shit. You know what I mean? And they're getting to be so smart that you're talking about Star Trek shit again. You know, this is Star Trek shit right here.
Yeah.
You know? Ain't it?
Yeah.
And beyond. I mean, Captain Kirk didn't have fucking navigation on his. Right?
Really? Yeah, they had to ask to be beamed up. I mean, really.
You know, this is right now, we're, hour and 17 minutes away. It's not looking the same as I thought it would be looking right now. I thought this would be all fucking desert right here.
They charged something recently. Where? Wow, smell that. It's strong.
You think it's smog?
No, that's tar.
Tar. Tar or asphalt.
Yeah.
Probably doing a road.
Somewhere. Or they
It's
just
going
did
nowhere.
this
Yeah, it's,
recently. What that side is darker.
a lot of signs.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I noticed
for
the
being out here.
billboards.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
I thought of making a painting like that.
what town is this we're coming to here?
Say, Pahrump,
Pahrump?
something like that.
I've heard of that.
Or maybe it was that way.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that in Nevada.
We don't want to go that way, no? Could go that way now, I guess. Demopolis. 45 here now.
See, when I was going through Las Vegas at that time, you could get a room there for maybe $10. You know what I mean? Steak dinner for like $1.75 or something like that. You know?
Yep, that's what I heard.
It did nothing. You know, because I guess they got more taxes out of the fucking gambling.
Yeah.
You know.
Crazy.
See, I was thinking of this just be a little hole in the wall. These little towns, I find that around Arizona a lot. You only see here, but it goes out 10 miles along, way back there.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
houses and shit. Chino Valley, going to Prescott, you go through there and shit. You go back, you can't go left or right. The hills are like this. Like
It is. It's Pahrump.
we're gonna be 5.6. Make a left.
5 miles?
5.6 miles.
Yeah, 0.6 nothing.
You gotta go to the bathroom?
Not yet.
Well, don't you think before
Maybe we should try.
before we run out of gas stations? good.
in Connecticut.
In Prescott, things are very good there, you know. Phoenix is terrible.
I was trying to think where we ate him. I don't think it was the Golden Corral.
Northern Road.
No, it wasn't.
I'm surprised that's there. I keep on thinking we're in Arizona still.
So we've got a little tiny bit over a half a tank. Do you want to stop or do you want to keep going?
We got 69 miles to go. You want to stop and get 20?
We could do that just to be on the safe side.
And then just go to the bathroom at the same time, so if you,
Yeah, just don't know where to go here because
there's a McDonald's coming up, there's a gas station by that. AutoZone.
McDonald's
Yeah, McDonald's is coming up
coming up
on the left.
on the left.
But there's a gas station on the right.
You can do both in there. Well, do you
There's
want
a Burger King.
Where's that?
Here's a gas station right here. What does that say?
359, 369.
Let's go there.
Things sliding. Jeez. I didn't have my foot down all the way. I can turn here, right?
Yep.
Let's go this way. And turn in here.
Turn right on Shoshone Drive.
Turn right on Shoshone Drive, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of right.
This will fucking drive you crazy.
Say what?
This thing will drive you crazy. That's a place for it right there. Yeah. I haven't seen a car in the last, 10 minutes. You know?
I don't know what the speed limit is here again. 55, I think it was.
Say,
Yeah. This is 50. with somebody else and talking about maybe getting married, that would be his 10th time.
Yeah.
9th or 10th time. Somebody told me it was his 9th.
So I wonder where these roads go. There's a road we're running parallel with right here.
They gotta be somebody's land. Okay, a house in between them.
Yeah.
Mountains where? In between?
Yeah.
Yeah, hiding.
You don't even see. It's still right there, right next to us there. That's coming out right. Oh, it stops right there. Huh.
It stopped.
Yeah. That could have been a. Sure looked like a fucking road to me.
No? What the hell was that? Maybe there's a wash in there. What for? I don't know. You can be the walk.
I didn't see a fucking tree
See
anywhere
that?
either.
No. I mean, that's a bush still.
Can you imagine walking wagon train?
Oh, no.
Any one of these Indians could be sitting on top of one of these mountains looking down on this valley and see this wagon train heading out, and they send their buddies to go say, hey, da 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 da, you know. All they need is one guy on one of these mountains, you know.
Yep.
They cover fucking 100 miles.
You can see everything.
Right. You know that? Talk about crazy motherfuckers.
So I've got to get in touch with my friend. She always wanted me to take pictures, show me the area.
Of what?
Arizona, where I was living, you know, that. And it's like, these things don't take a picture worth shit. My camera got stolen when my car got stolen. So, I've never gone out and bought another camera. So I'll be able to tell her, go on YouTube, because I know she does YouTube. She's the one that told me about this
Well,
exercise.
you could have a copy. You can start your own YouTube channel. Come on. Places and pictures and shit like that. I just give you a copy and you can start your own YouTube channel.
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
Not very hard. Especially when I hand it.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Put it up there.
More shit, isn't it?
Watch out!
What? The bump?
Kill us all. We get mad. We're really fucked.
Oh yeah, that stuff's
That sucks us
spin
in
the
and then
tires
go like that.
forever.
Yeah. Would not be a fun ride.
Oh yeah, lots of fun.
See, there's no minerals in this shit here.
Oh, let's see. What did it say? 78, 76, maybe 3 or 4 more miles. We have to turn again. No, they said 26 miles.
can only a family could only use so much fucking room. And a 4,000 square foot house is
Yeah.
fucking humongous. You know?
If
That's insane.
$400 some odd $1,000 for the house.
Yeah.
You know damn well he's got some rooms in it. He's got extra bedrooms and
Oh,
parking
yeah.
and this and that. And it was just him and his wife.
And taxes.
And I guess they are separated now, or divorced now. He was going out with somebody else and talking about maybe getting married. That would be his 10th time.
Yeah.
9th or 10th time. Somebody told me it was his 9th.
So I wonder where these roads go. There's a road running parallel with right here.
They gotta be somebody's land. Okay, a house in between them.
Yeah.
Mountains where? In between?
Yeah.
Yeah, hiding.
You don't even see. It's still right there, right next to us there. That's coming out right. Oh, it stops right there. Huh.
It stopped.
Yeah. That could have been a. I don't know. Sure looked like a fucking road to me.
No? What the hell is that? Maybe this is a washing. What for? I don't know. You don't need a
I
wash.
didn't see a fucking
Did you
tree
see
anywhere
that?
either.
No. I mean, that's a bush still.
Could have had a walking wagon train.
Oh, no.
Any one of these Indians could be sitting on top of one of these mountains looking down on this valley to see this wagon train heading out, and they send their buddies to go say, hey, da 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 da, you know. All they need is one guy on one of these mountains, you know.
Yep.
They cover fucking 100 miles.
You can see everything.
Right. So that, talk about crazy motherfuckers.
So I gotta get in touch with my friend. She always wanted me to take pictures, show me the area.
Of what?
Arizona, where I was living and all that. And it's like, these things don't take a picture worth shit. My camera got stolen when my car got stolen. So, I've never gone out and bought another camera. So I'll be able to tell her, go on YouTube, because I know she does YouTube. She's the one that told me about this exercise.
Well, you can have a copy and you can start your own YouTube channel. Come on. Places and pictures and shit like that. I just give you a copy and you can start your own YouTube channel.
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
Not very hard. Especially when I hand it.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Just put it up there.
Poor shit, is it?
Watch out!
What? The bump?
Kill us all. We get mad. We're really fucked.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
That sucks us
Spin
in
the
and then
tires
go like that.
forever.
Yeah. Would not be a fun ride.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
See, there's no minerals in this shit here.
Oh, let's see. What did it say? 78, 76, maybe 3 or 4 more miles. We have to turn again. No, they said 26 miles.
north, I would say that would be snow. 30 degrees outside. You know? That's insane. It's actually cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Which is good.
See all those are look like mines over there. See that gray part right there?
Yeah.
Those are ridiculous. That's tailings. It looks like, but then you never know. Because that whole section up there on that side of that mountain looks the same color, and that's not tailing. That's just color of the rock. That's just too much. And in places where put out that much tailings. But that one looks like it's got a little dip in it. You never know. You really I got binoculars.
You know, it takes a while to look.
I come prepared, man. I come prepared.
Well, I got little binoculars in here. They're very little.
And this is what saves you from going to washes and ridges thinking it's a mine.
Damn it.
Because you use binoculars instead of walking there and doing it.
Shit.
What's wrong now?
Oh, that shade spilled all over me. Whoops, I just ran over a lizard. Sometime. All the seat, all the
Looks natural.
water.
See how the whole center of that thing is that same color.
Crazy.
Yeah. You can
Alright.
see that's a whole different color over here too. The rock.
Yeah. Turn right.
She said.
I heard
Oh,
half
tempted yourself. We're 38 miles away.
That's a really
Take the
steep
next right on California 127 North, then turn left on California 190 West.
Wait a minute. Did she say left?
Turn right.
And then turn left. 25 Amargosa.
0.2 miles. Turn left.
Okay.
California 190.
Okay.
Take the next left on California 190 West.
This one.
We just passed it up.
That's what I'm thinking.
Watch out, it's steep.
There we saw it. Alright, now we gotta get back there. This
Do you right here?
looks a little smoother. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks a little less high here.
Just go slow.
There.
Death Valley National Park. It'll be the death. Yeah, can you imagine crossing this motherfucker? Where the fuck are you gonna find water?
Yeah, really.
You know?
Continue on California 190 West for 38 miles.
Well, there was some water down there, but
Um,
you really don't drink it.
what was 30 miles stand on west 38 miles to Death Valley. 38. Stay on CA 190 west.
find a lot more of them, and if you sell more, you're just like mine, getting gold. You know, all sorts of agates, you know, that are blues and reds and purples and pinks. You know,
And where do you find them?
they're all over Arizona. They got a book. They got a book on Arizona rocks and where to find each one. And it pretty much tells you to go in the winter time because you don't want rattlesnakes. You know?
Yeah.
But even gold, I mean, there's secrets to them. And, you know, where you go and what part of the creek you want to look for. Just past the curve. You know, as the water comes down the mountain, and it has a curve, but just beyond that, it's going to pool onto the left side. That's where you look for your gold at. But there's not enough money in trying to find gold. You know, again,
For the scarcity of it.
there isn't a scarcity. Just there's so much out there. Because every one of the countries got gold. Everybody's got gold, you know. But it's just like silver. It's a precious metal. That means there's a limit to it, you know. But it's just a rock, you know. It's like a diamond, just a fucking rock, you know. Just as society proves to be valuable.
Rocks like diamonds.
Like just a rock.
It's just, I mean, we could be making more forever because that's a pressure
Thing. They can actually make diamonds, you know, now. But they're not the diamonds that the people want, are the ones that are the originals out of the ground,
Right.
you know, not manufactured last year by China. Yeah, look at the difference in those mountains. Look at the difference in these mountains.
Yep. Gold's crazy. Tried to ask my friends when I first got here, they started talking about gold. I said, so, you know, there's got to be a way. These miners, you know, why are they digging this mine hole here? Right.
You know what I mean?
It's got to be something that shows them where.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to tell my friends, and when I first got here, no fucking liquor thing or something. And they said, no, they do just trial and error, blah blah blah. I said, no, that's not it, you know. So, you know, then I find out you got to do it around mineralized rock. I mean, there's mineralized rock in North Carolina and Kansas and shit like that, you know. It's not just here. They find gold out there also. Because again, the Earth was spinning as this storm of, you know, what is that rock determined to be gold? I mean, it's what we call gold. It's just what it was made. You know, when it goes through the atmosphere, burns up, and turns into whatever. You know, from the Big Bang. That's about what it is the Big Bang. That's from what I'm hearing from all the experts. There's no God thing. But to that thing, the Big Bang of what? Were all these planets one big object? You know what I'm saying? Like Earth?
Yeah.
Where all the planets and everything was just collected into. But where was that city? And what? not. You know what I'm saying? It gets really interesting where you start thinking about it. I mean, we're looking, if you believe the Webb telescope, they're looking back 100 trillion years in the past, you know? I mean, the stars and the lights we see in those planets right now took 100 trillion years to get to what you're seeing today. You know what I mean?
By the time you get to look at it, it's already changed.
No, it's already happened and it's gone, almost gone. You know, the sun could be already gone or something like that because that light,
Still trying.
it's like a flashlight, you know? Yeah, no, it's pretty sketchy shit. But again, if you look at the moon and how scarred up it is from meteors, well, that's the same thing that happens to our atmosphere, our planet. But you know, you got tons of shit falling on it every single day. I mean, check this out. There are rocks falling every single day on this planet. Little meteors, little tiny rocks. That adds up at the end of
that.
Yeah. Wow. We need a picture of that. Why don't you slow down a little bit?
Oh, just plain stop.
That'll work too.
And if a car comes, I'll just pull ahead.
Ain't nothing else coming this way.
I don't know if those people were or not. Wow.
There's a mine over there.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew I could hear a car. I just took 2 pictures, so that'll
Did you take some?
just. I took 2.
I got a pretty good camera on this.
This has
I
a
got
crappy-
Simple Mobile. And I'm pretty happy with them.
That's what I got. T-Mobile. You got Simple Mobile. What do you
Yeah.
mean Simple?
I $25 a month. There's a mine right there.
Oh yeah,
Let's
it's
see the rig. That one. For sure.
You said Simple Mobile.
Yeah. By
Is it
Walmart.
T-Mobile?
No, not T-Mobile.
Okay.
You ever heard of Straight Talk?
Yeah.
It's the same company. And TrackPhone.
And they do that. They charge you 25, take it out automatically or something.
No, I buy cards,
Oh, okay.
$25 cards each month, and it gives you about 3 gigs of
Yeah.
high speed, which I don't usually use. And then, your phones and your text and all that bullshit, Facebook, all that. But the phone's only $40 and the service is $25 a month.
I used to have. My brother had Straight Talk. I got the track phone.
This
Yeah.
track phone this is a track phone, but Simple Mobile is the carrier. You understand? When you turn this phone on, it says track phone.
Oh yeah. And that's what I had until I got this. I got T-Mobile.
20 miles.
$43 a month for everything, and I don't have to go to the store looking for cards. They
Well,
don't
this
have
one, you
120,
can
so
get, you
340.
can go up to 65, and it gives you 15 gigs of hotspot. And see, that's how I get all my music and my movies. I go on a torrent thing, and if I did that suddenly, they'd get me for copyright and give me a hard time or kick me off. And so I do it through my phone. And 15 gigs gets me about 5 or 10 movies, for an extra $20 that month. What did it say?
Flooded.
This ain't flooded. That was flooded. Not too long ago.
Yeah, they must have, because I saw water back that way. It looked like rain. Must have been a big hole here.
Starting to warm up a little. Still not terrible. We only got 19 miles to go. that much. You know?
No, we're close to, but I don't know how deep it is. I know it's lower. I believe it's lower, but I don't know how much. Unbelievable. It's like I went to make some fudge, mix the panucci with the chocolate, spread it on the table. And, oh, yeah.
Man-made.
Yeah.
Dump there or something.
Yeah. Almost.
All these cars out here.
Must be something. You're looking at
Rest area maybe.
that could be. You need to rest.
There's a peak that I'm walking up to. Overlook up there.
Oh, up there. Yeah, look that way. I see it. It's a breeze. So we go up top. I can see it there. Even I might be able to make that.
I don't want to see the things that other people see. I want to see the things nobody sees, you know? Like that panning tree. They put that on Facebook. And they fucking, it's like 2,000 people seen that. I was getting fucking comments across the United States on that thing. Couldn't fucking believe it.
Did you put your panties up there?
It's for breast cancer.
My cousin's daughter died of breast cancer. She was 6 months pregnant. Found out she had breast cancer. Unbelievable. Nature garbage. Oh, there's some real green up here.
So we're 11 miles away.
Yep.
Damn near see it. That's gotta be it down there. Water, look at the trees. Some kind of fucking spring or something there.
Yeah, a lot of green in it.
Yeah, going up this hill.
Could that be a nasty slide?
This is mean rock too. It's all loose.
Spin your tires on that, you could get a puncture in your gas tank or something.
Yeah. These are the roads you don't want to go out the side of. See, there's water there again.
Yeah. It probably rained last night here.
Or there's a spring.
Wow, look at those rocks.
Because that would explain the trees. It was just rain. Those trees wouldn't be there. Either with these on the left. You notice? That's
there's
probably where that water's going to right there. And these things don't need that much to fucking moisten themselves to get very green.
Whoa, my ears keep popping and popping and popping.
Look at the colors on that.
Unbelievable, huh?
Flooded. See? That's the same stream up there. Bet you there's a fucking spring up there somewhere.
It keeps coming down this.
No, it's coming out of the ground. It's
Well,
a natural spring. They got those on the
spring up there.
on the way to from Oatman to Kingman.
Yeah.
You can walk this little sidewalk, and that's where the goats go to get a drink of water, and it's a natural spring coming from the earth. You know, even down there by going from Yarnell to Congress.
I know who that is.
picture. I got a picture of the place the day after. I videotaped it, and then I was one of the first ones on the same day to hike that trail when it first opened. I was living right down the street from there, about 5 miles. So,
Wow. Came up quick. Ooh, look at that.
yeah. Death Valley Inn. You know that's expensive.
Yeah.
Look at all the nice cars and shit in it, you know? This is it. We're fucking...
Wow. See, I told you it was a lake. See that white water?
elevation sea level. See, we're just sea level.
Oh, sea level, so.
And we're only 500 feet above sea level at, I think, Bullhead.
Right. Yeah.
I know Peoria down in Phoenix is only 700. So 700 feet ain't jack shit. Look, there's snow on that mountain. You know how high that's gotta motherfucker gotta be? 12,000 feet probably.
It is up high.
This time of year, 100 degrees down here and snow up there. Come on, that's fucking...
It says it's 91. Doesn't feel 91.
I know. It's a different kind of heat here, you know?
Well, in most of Arizona, except for
Well, it could be the rock
Yes,
too.
humidity.
Again, the same thing as inside the Grand Canyon. Rock will retain heat, and
Yeah.
that Bullhead City surrounded by that rock, you know, that dark colored rock, and that's where your heat could rise more. And going down that valley, you know, that could affect it in the same way. 35 miles an hour here coming up.
we're strolling at 40. It just doesn't want to stop.
Furnace Creek, elevation 190 feet. So we're only 300 degrees, 300 feet. I'm pretty sure. What is this here? Town Hall,
The ranch at Death Valley.
shopping center.
Huh.
Looks pretty yuppie, you know?
Yeah. Bring your bucks.
Yeah, look at all those little... So we got 7.9 miles to go.
Oh, there's a gas station. Yeah. We're full.
$6, $7 a gallon.
Wow. You want to go that way? Furnace Creek Visitor Center?
Furnace Creek. Furnace. Get it? Death Valley. There's a theme there.
Overflow parking. Well, that's a hell of a walk.
Campground. Furnace Creek. Who the fuck would want to camp out here? Oh, I mean, it's ugly. This part is. And that's a whole different color rock right there. That's like yellow.
Yeah, especially over there. I was waiting for you to do that.
pay to get in here, or it says going to be a visitor center? Or, I mean, if there's nothing to look at, I don't want to even try to hike. You know, if it's flat like this,
Right.
fuck that. You know? But just saying I was there is okay with me too. You know what I mean? I got the video. We're good. You know, there's got to be a. You would think it's supposed to be a national park. I think. What do we got here? Almost looks like an Indian reservation. All the houses are the same. That's how you can usually tell, you know? Like you go up 66 and you go through that Indian village and shit, and all the houses are the same color. Same bill, same everything, you know? So I'll look this up. It's got to be salt. I never expected that either, to be honest. Salt in, you know, Death Valley.
He needs borax. 20 milk borax.
You know, that's how you actually get rid of mange and
The dogs and stuff.
borax and hydrogen peroxide, and it works. I got that little cat from Amanda, and she has some kind of parasite. It got on the dog and the cat, and they're losing hair and stuff like that. And I looked it up, and sure enough, I washed them in that a couple times, and it all fucking went away.
I used to use it. I'd add a little to my
Still buy it.
detergent. Oh yeah. Yep. Sure can. I can't believe those rocks back there. Unbelievable. Lucy. Why don't you get out and walk to the right and see what it really is and bring some home?
I got salt in this little shaker at home.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you walk out there?
No way in hell.
If we were gonna do it, we should have done it about 50 miles back that way.
Yeah, where it's closer to us.
Right. So you can't even tell where the road is out here, you know?
That's it. You know, too many
It
hills.
seems like it disappeared right there, and there's no trace of it going that
Which
way.
way do I go?
Yeah, no, we're gonna go that way.
But the road, it disappeared.
It's weird though.
Yeah.
And what would cause all this salt here? I'm gonna look that up. Why is there salt in the Death Valley?
It's got full flood.
What flood? There's no flood.
feed the dog and take the dog for a walk. And the first time I went over there, of course Rita talks to dogs and she says, "Oh, Christina's coming over to get you and she'll take you for a walk, you know, everything will be fine." And I get there and I don't even get to touch the screen door and she starts howling like she knew I was coming, and she was so happy.
Dogs know. I mean, my dog can tell somebody's walking down the road. She can either smell it or hear it or whatever. Somebody's in the driveway, even on your side. She knows when somebody's walking outside. She's got amazing hearing. I've been watching. One of the good things about Twitter is they've been putting more animal shit, and these animals meet their person that rescued them, and they know them right off the bat. They, or a dog that hasn't seen its owner in 2 or 3 years. Or something like that. They just fucking. So all these things I've seen, birds, cows, you name it, come up to people. This is it.
You've arrived. This is Death Valley.
Okay. Keep on going. Those guys got the head to come from somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's true. Unbelievable. How do I do this? Oh, okay. It's so hard to see. Let's see if I can see it on this. Yeah, see, you can't see much.
Yeah. Well, you can't see much on that.
Right.
Wait until you see it on a computer screen. So I'm trying to keep on going forward.
We have arrived at Death Valley.
That should be us right there. So we should be heading, if I'm not mistaken, south. you seen a sign at all? I mean, these cars got to be just coming. How much gas we got?
There's one right there. It's like a road we can go change directions if we need to.
No,
Or turn around.
I'd rather
and
go
back.
straight. Because look, here comes another car. They got to be coming from somewhere. You know?
Got it.
So we
One
can just
that
keep.
way, that
No,
way.
no, this way.
Okay.
90 is what we're on. 190. I gotta wait until I get more internet.
Oh, you mean the signal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't seen the damn cell tower in God knows how long. You know? That's to tell you the truth.
I suppose you could wait a long time out here before somebody would come by, huh? And stop and say you're okay.
Yeah. You know, the weird thing is you don't see any. Usually, as you drive along, you see trails going in to the mountain or roads or something.
There's not so much here.
You know, and you don't see nothing here.
Because people don't like to hike around here.
Well, not even so much hiking, but mining operations or gold operations. Even if you use a wagon, you use enough going up and down and up. That's going to leave a mark. You know what I mean? And you can usually see that shit a long ways away. You know?
There were some roads way back.
And I didn't, you know, that's the monument. I didn't see any kind of visitor center. Did you?
There was something on the left where you went in and you had to stop. They had gates in town.
Yeah.
Want to go back there?
No. They, what I'm saying is, I thought there'd be trails out here. Being a national monument or whatever it is, you'd think there'd be a parking lot. You understand?
Yeah.
And that would have said it. No, but that didn't say it. It said something like Furnace Canyon, blah blah blah.
That was after that on the left hand side. There was
Yeah.
a yellowish building.
But
fence
again,
here, fence
we're
here.
talking. I wouldn't even do a trail out here. What the fuck is there out there to see?
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Same thing you just drove
It's not
through.
beyond the moon. Now that's a camping. See, who the fuck would want to camp out there? I don't get
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just don't.
Well, time to take this off.
And then you gotta park your car by the gate there and shit. God knows who's gonna drive by and whatnot.
Right.
Except for that kid.
Yeah. Take this off. Better to be in the middle. There. There's a sign.
Yeah, it's the wrong way though.
Picky, picky.
I know.
Oh, looks like it's saying something on this side. Elevation, sea level. We're back up to sea level.
Go back down to sea level.
No,
The other one was, well, last time I seen the sign, it said 190 feet above.
which didn't make sense.
Sure it does. I mean, dude, I don't know that it can be too much below sea level. I mean,
If you look at sea level, that sign, and it's lower over there, from was 500 miles above sea level.
But honestly, you know, maybe that river has something to do with that heat and bullhead too. You know? See how green that pasture is down there to the left?
Yeah.
All those trees, there's gotta be water down there.
Alright, watch out, here it goes.
Yeah.
Still stuck behind me. Jeez.
Pretty green down there,
Yeah.
all things considered.
Here to the west.
So I'm thinking we should still be in. Let's see what we got here.
So if you speed around here, you think they come by with a helicopter and give you a ticket?
I believe they would run radar on you. That's how they do it,
Yeah.
from a helicopter,
Yeah.
and then they would have a cop sitting up in
Waiting.
front, waiting on you. Yeah. You're used to going down from Prescott down through the National Forest. Very curvy, right?
Yes.
And a lot of motorcycles go up there and they try to fucking, you know, right, exactly. So there's a cop that sits right on top of there, and he can see them coming long before they get there. By the time they get to his curve, he gets them by the fucking group.
Yeah.
Scotty's baby new. I say keep on going straight. I see a town up there.
There.
Yeah. I see a sign, mileage sign too.
Ah. Read it.
Now you can say you've been through the whole fucking I can do, take all this video, and each one's going to be 5 hours, or maybe 15, 20, maybe 50 by we get back. Like, that's 50 more videos for my YouTube. And then once I put them on the YouTube, it's like 3 to 5 gigabytes per little clip. And then when I download it back, it's a fraction of that off of YouTube.